We're here in Centennial Park for what's become an annual meet and greet barbecue with the Team Valemount and the local politicians and regional politicians. And we're here with Shirley Bond, MLA for Prince George Valemount. Shirley, welcome back to Valemount.
Thank you, Gord. Always happy to be here.
Shirley, it's now your 5th term, correct?
It is.
And it's coming at a kind of a tumultuous time for the BC Liberal Party with the change in government. How will it affect your the way you represent Prince George Valemount?
Well, I think that some things are going to change. Obviously, my seat in the legislature, and I'm now an opposition MLA for the first time in 16 years. I've been a cabinet minister also for that 16 years of my career. So undoubtedly some change, and there's some sadness with that. But one thing that will not change is my resolve to serve the people of Prince George Valemount with as much integrity and with as much initiative as I possibly can. And I love where we live, and I love the people of the Robson Valley. So I'm going to have to find new ways to get things done. So it just means hard work in a different way, but it will not change my resolve to be an excellent constituency MLA.
Well, we know you've always done great things for us here in Valemount, and we know that's going to continue. How do you think the change in the government will affect the Kinder Morgan pipeline project? That's got a lot of people's minds here in Valemount.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent question, and even here in the Robson Valley and in Valemount in particular, there are still mixed views about the Kinder Morgan pipeline. But many people have demonstrated their support for that here in my riding. My job is to take that message back to Victoria. This is a big province. People have different views of development and how it's done. All of us believe you need to do it responsibly and in an environmentally sensitive way. But the Prime Minister's been clear. This is a project that is in the national interest. He has made the decision to move forward. So I think there's going to be a lot of debate and discussion about this. My job is to take the voices of people who live here who may have a different view than the people of Burnaby. My job is to take that message to Victoria.
Right. Another thing that's on people's minds, the forest fire situation in British Columbia, in the Robson Valley as well. It has a lot of people here on edge. Can you explain what has been done in this riding, particularly for those that live in this area?
Well, I can honestly say it's a very emotional time for British Columbia as we watch literally thousands of people being displaced from their homes every day. There's another alert, potential for more evacuation orders. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am that right across my riding, people have stepped up to support evacuees. Here in Valemount, we have a comfort center. We have one in McBride. We have Terracana saying, bring your RVs, we'll let you stay free. In Prince George, thousands of volunteers every day serving the people who have been forced from their homes. This is a very serious situation in British Columbia. Experts are providing the advice necessary to the new government to make sure that the response is appropriate and adequate on the ground. But for me, when tough things happen, great people step up, and I have seen that right across the riding, and I really want to thank the people of Valemount and McBride for stepping up, taking the initiative to provide support to those evacuees having to use Highway 5 and taking the long route into Prince George. So tough summer for us, but certainly British Columbia has stepped up, and I'm very proud of the people of my riding.
Well, all of Canada is stepping up and helping out financially and in other ways. I understand that the Canadian government has just sent the military into this region, and they're on their way. And I think that you even saw them today.
I did. It was actually a very it was almost a stunning kind of moment when you see the kind of military equipment and personnel that's being sent in now. I was in McBride, had stopped for just a moment, and the next thing I knew, a whole series of military vehicles pulled in to be refueled in McBride. And I think it speaks to the magnitude of the issue we're facing. So once again, more support on its way to help very tired personnel that are on the ground, our wildfire crews, our RCMP, our first responders, and just our volunteers. So, grateful to see that more help is on the way. It was a very poignant moment, though. It reminded me how serious the situation is facing British Columbia.
Absolutely. Well, we'll pray for rain. We got a little bit last night, and it's looking positive for rain.
Rain, no wind, and no lightning is what we're praying for. So
great. Well, thanks for coming down again to Valemount, and we're happy to have you here.
My pleasure. I'm proud to be part of Team Valemount.
Hello again, everybody. I hope most of you have had a chance to at least have one helping of hamburger. I see there's still a few folks in the line, so they're going through as fast as they can, so hopefully we'll get you something soon. I wanted to first take a moment to introduce myself. It's my honor to be here today. I'm Renee McCloskey, and I'm the Manager of External Relations with the Regional District of Fraser-Fort George, and I want to thank Her Worship Mayor Townsend for the invitation to be here and act as your MC. Before we get started, I want to acknowledge that we are on the territory of the Simp First Nation, and on behalf of Chief Matthew, we're happy to be gathering here. To get us started, I would like to introduce Her Worship Mayor Jeanette Townsend.
Thank you, Renee, and thank you for agreeing to be our MC today. It is my very real pleasure to thank the senior representatives of our governments, Shirley Bond and Bob Zimmer, for coming here today, and I know that they will be speaking to you a little later. It is also my very real pleasure to invite all of the visitors and the guests who are interested in Valemount and in developing projects. So thank you very much, and I hope everybody enjoys themselves today, and thank you again to the Valemount Community Forest for hosting today. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. It is indeed exciting to be here. And normally in July, we wouldn't be that excited about a dark gray sky, but I think given all of the activity in our province over the last few weeks, it's quite a welcome sight. And I want to also extend a thanks. Yeah, let's have a thanks for Mother Nature. And while we're at it, I want to extend thanks to everyone in this community that is volunteering, that has been an incredible part of welcoming evacuees as they're coming through your community. I know you've seen a lot of traffic over the last couple days, week and so. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing and spreading the word about what a warm and welcoming community Valemount is. I would like to now introduce our Member of Parliament, Bob Zimmer, to say a few words.
Thanks, everybody. There has to be a couple hundred people here, Mayor. Great attendance as usual, but it's good to be back in Valemount. I was just here 2 weeks ago. Presented the Mayor with a Canada 150 flag. It's the one that's flying at City Hall today. It's the purple one there. It's one of the many colors of our of the maple leaf for the 150, but I just wanted to say congratulations on Canada's 150th of Valemount. There's so much going on here. It's good to be part of a vibrant community that's really got so much going for it. The sky's the limit. And see, Ski Hill folks are here today, and we're even further down that road than we were before. And as we were talking, a lot of the big walls that were in the way are now down. And there's still some little walls to be overcome, but I just wanted to say thanks to the group, Bertie, that represents the group 2 that are here today for believing in Valemount and making it your home. But I also wanted just to say hi and congratulations for all that's happening in Valemount. And I'll be around just to talk and answer questions. But again, good to see you all again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're now very excited to have with us today your MLA, Shirley Bond, to say a few words of welcome. Welcome, Shirley.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, and very, very pleased to be here today on this at this annual event, which is about Team Valemount. And one of the things that I know is so important, if you want to get things done, people have to figure out how to do that by working with one another, supporting one another, and even if you have differences on issues, you got to figure out how to move forward. So Team Valemount is an incredibly important group of people as we make sure that the issues that matter to those of you who live here are taken care of and get the attention that they deserve. So thank you very much to Mayor Townsend and Village Council for the way they work so constructively, and they have with me over many, many years. This is my 5th term as your MLA, and I've always been so appreciative of the forward-looking councils that we've had and mayors that we've had here in Valemount. I think that I just had a very, it was almost a surreal experience, because today I think that we need to stop for a moment. You know, while we're here celebrating each other's company and the team that we are together. You know, British Columbians, many of them, thousands of them, have been displaced from their homes, are living in fear of whether or not they'll go home to a building or not. And we just went through a very surreal experience. I was a tiny bit late because as we were in McBride, a very significant military convoy was coming from Edmonton to go and help in Williams Lake. And it was vehicle after vehicle after vehicle. And it was like they were going to take over McBride. It was quite a moment. But I got out of the car and I went up to the person who was in charge of the detail and of the group, the convoy, and I said, I just want you to know, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming to help us here in British Columbia. And young men and young women who said, we are so proud to be able to come and help. So, you know, more help is on the way, and that is going to be so important as you think about what's going on. Sustainability, you know, people on the checkpoints, people volunteering, people, RCMP officers, wildfire crews. We need to be their support team. It's Team BC right now as we all sort of kick in our efforts together. I too want to thank the people here in Valemount for the Comfort Center at the church, for people stepping up at the Visitor Center, signs up on the side of the highway. Terracana is accepting. They called me the day after the fire started and said, tell campers they can come and stay for free at Terracana. And in McBride, they have a Comfort Center as well, and they've had 80, 90 people a day going through there, getting the best home baking you've ever seen. So, you know, the Robson Valley is doing its part, and that's part of being, that is just the way that we do things here in the Robson Valley. So, lots of work ahead of us. I'm proud to be part of Team Valemount. I commit to working very hard on your behalf, and I'm going to have a new seat in the legislature from which I'm going to have to do that. But I will not work any less hard than I have when I was on the other side. So, thanks for having us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Shirley. I'm sure there isn't a British Columbian anywhere that doubts how hard you work, not only for your constituents, but for the whole province. So thank you for your service. This is a special year for the Regional District. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary, and as part of those celebrations, we wanted to bring our board meetings and our directors out to the communities where we're providing services and then meet with people and have a chance to have that exchange. When we were going through the planning process, Mayor Townsend and her crew right away said, we have a community barbecue, let's time it so we're all together, and what a fantastic opportunity. So we were thrilled that our board meeting was going to be able to take advantage of joining with you in this community celebration today. I'd like to invite our board chair, Art Kane, to say a few words.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for coming out. It seems like every community we come to, everybody's got a hamburger in their hand or waiting for the famous Regional District cupcakes. Unfortunately, we didn't bring any cupcakes. We brought a cake. Okay, we brought a cake. Thank you. You saved me, Renee. Anyway, it's great to see you turn out. The weather is just fantastic. I left this morning from the community I live in Hickson, and it was black, and it just smelled awful, and it just smells so fresh and pristine here. And it's wonderful to hear the kinds of things that the communities are doing in the Regional District. Of course, the City of Prince George has 9,000 folks registered and are being helped in so many different ways. But it's so nice to see in Valemount and McBride and the other communities along the way in what they're doing to make a difference and make our neighbors feel comfortable, because the Regional District is just one large community, and what folks do on one end of the community benefits all of us. So I just want to thank the Mayor for inviting us out to celebrate our 50th anniversary, as well as your staff and the Village Council for this invitation and the work you've done to organize our meeting. And thank you very much, and enjoy the day.
Thank you very much, Art. And as much as we like to think at the Regional District that we're the most exciting thing that's happening in Valemount, I think that probably we're not. And with that, I'd like to invite Tom Alberti from Valemount Glacier Destinations to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone. I'd just like to thank the Regional District for the invite and the turnout.
We're working on a 2-year construction timeline for a project opening, and so at this point we're working towards a December 2019 opening. Initially we had a more aggressive schedule, but we've through the detailed design work we've set a more manageable schedule given the construction timeline that's available in this part of the world. And my work is getting quite fun, I have to say. And we're working on the design of the actual buildings and facilities for the resort, and I can't wait to be here as soon as possible to start moving some dirt. And that day will come sooner than we all think, in terms of as designers and engineers and preparing for that date. And that'll be very much a result of the support and the encouragement and work of the people of Valemount. So thank you for having us, and enjoy this wonderful afternoon. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tom. Exciting news indeed. An event like this isn't possible without great community partners. So I'd like to recognize the Valemount Community Forest for partnering with the Village of Valemount in putting together this barbecue. So I don't know if Craig and Ainsley are around. Oh, okay, there we are. Thank you very much for your support and all the good work you're doing in this community. I also want to recognize another great community supporter, and that's Borealis Geopower. So is Craig and Allison, are they around to be acknowledged? Yeah, they are. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing as well. I think it's an exciting time in Valemount. There's lots of great things on the horizon. We're going to let this smoke clear, and it's going to be sunny, clear days for this community for years to come. You still have lots of time here at the barbecue, so if you're looking for seconds, I think there's probably still maybe a few burgers going, and hopefully still a few pieces of cake. If you're interested, we certainly invite you to join us for our regional district meeting. It begins at 1:30 over at the community hall, so hopefully you can join us and see a little bit more about the work that we do. In the meantime, enjoy your afternoon, and thank you again for the opportunity to be here.